Welcome to DayZ. With the Frostline update, there are a lot of new players trying DayZ for the first time, and even more coming back to the game after years away. So today, I'm going to give you a full rundown of everything you'll need to know to survive on DayZ's newest map, Sakhal, and have a good start to your adventure. Alright my friends, so we are on a completely vanilla version of Sakhal here, and we're going to walk through everything to get you comfortable with the beginner basics of the game. So this is for someone who maybe just got inspired to rejoin DayZ and hasn't played in a long time because of Frostline or something like that. We're going to go over everything. I'm on PC, but a lot of these tips are going to go over to console too. If someone could put in the comments like a description of what the hotkeys would be for certain things that I described in the console version, whether that be PlayStation or otherwise, that'd be sick. So first off, when you spawn in on Sakhal, you're going to be on the ocean, right? Somewhere relative to the ocean. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to want to go over to a tree. You're going to spawn with the knife. You're going to want to put it into your hands. So if we press tab and then we drag it over into our hands, we could also put it on our hotbar. And we're going to go over to a tree somewhere and we're going to get 2 bark. It's very important. 2 bark. Dose bark. So if we go up to it, it says gather, left click, hold it, boom, we're holding it. The reason we're getting bark is because we need to make a fire, and bark makes it certain that we're going to be able to make a fire in a little bit. So after we get to there, we're going to drag the stick. We can either drag it back on the spot here or just drag it onto our person and let go. It'll fall into our inventory. And now if something is over here and you want to pick it up, you could drag and drop it. You also could drag and drop it in here. If you want to rotate something, press spacebar. Okay, I'm pressing spacebar there. But the best way to grab things is double click. Boop, boop. It's in my inventory. Right. Now we got that. I'm going to go over to a bush and I'm going to gather a long stick. Now all of these things I'm grabbing are just to make a fire, and you could get a long stick from just about anywhere. Once again, I'm going to double click it, boop, boop, and went right onto my back slot right here because we have 2 back slots. So I'm going to loot around for a little bit, and we're going to try and get some insulation and some food. So we got some nails there, sick. We got a little bit of food here. So if something's on the ground, I could just look at it. I could just look at it on the ground, and I could tap F, and it'll pick it up. Or if I hold F, it'll take it into my hands. But as we see, when we pick up food from the world's very cold. So this is actually frozen. We can't drink it until we thaw it out first. We're going to loot around here. Let's say I wanted this shirt. Ooh, I'm going to grab this rope, so I'm going to double click that. Let's say I wanted this shirt. I could drag and drop it onto my chest. Boom. That's my shirt. Now I double click all this. Now we're going good. So each piece of clothing we come across is going to have an insulation value. Like this is worse, low. We want high insulation. We want medium insulation at minimum. And we want best insulation all the time, right? That's the goal. So when we're looking for clothes, we're really looking for insulation value. It's very important that we get things that keep us warm because this place is very cold. And think about it, as we get higher on the map too, as you see there's more snow, it gets colder. So right now we're kind of in a decent spot to deal with the cold. Like we're not in a really cold region. We're down here on the lowlands, there's barely even snow. But up as we go deeper inland, we're going to get colder and colder. So we have to have clothes and a heat buff, which we'll talk about in a little bit, ready to go when we go up there. So it's important on Sakhal, after you finish looting the first group of buildings that you go to, you look at the ocean and you put it on your right or your left and you run. Because you have to go one direction. You don't want to go up this way then turn around. You want to be running on the ocean on Sakhal. So you're going to put it on your right in this case. And I'm going to run. I don't want to run on the road because then if there's a sniper, he's going to get me, right? And normally what happens when we run to this next city is on the way we'll come across some zombies, maybe even a zombie car. But overall what we're trying to do in the beginning here is get some clothes and get potential to do some fishing. So you don't really need to find anything beyond a rope, and I'm even going to show you how to make a fishing rod without finding a rope. Like you have to make it by other means. You can craft a rope a number of different ways. But right now we're just running with the ocean right there. It's right on the other side of that little overlay. We're going to keep running to the right until we hit another village. So as we see, we're going to talk about the HUD right now. In the bottom left, I have my stamina, which is the bar that's completely depleted, slowly building up. If I stand completely still, it'll raise faster. If I'm jogging, it'll raise a little bit slower. If I'm running, obviously it goes down. And next to that, you can see how loud my footsteps are registering in the world. So I have 2, 3, right? If I'm laying down, I'm crawling, it's only 1. It's very quiet to the world. Right? Then in the middle, we have our HUD, or sorry, our hotbar. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these will get more slots as you get more inventory space. All right? And then down here, we have, these are our main stats. These are our health stats, right? We have our HP on the very right. Then we have our blood. And then separate from those is our temperature, which is going down currently and empty, which makes me lose HP, as noted from the arrow down here. My food and my water. So we're going to go for trying to get those things boosted up here. We have the means to make a fire, and I think we're going to make it here. It looks like we just reached another town. You could tell because each town will have a street sign on the entrance and the exits. We're at Mapabokobo. All right, we're going inside here, and we are going to make a fire. So first, I'm going to open these up, see if I can... Ooh, look at that, a plastic water bottle. Let's see if I could get some goodies. Hopefully, some insulation. Maybe we'll make a fire even deeper. Maybe a house over, so we're not on the street. It's very important, especially if you're playing on official, on a full pop, that when you do make a fire, you try and find discrete locations to do it. If I did it here, you just saw as I was walking up, this is the first house I saw, right? We don't want to do it in a location that's going to compromise our well-being. So we're going to go down here, and we're going to find, yeah, any of these really work. We're doing this big one. See if I can find some warm clothes in here, too. Ooh, we got some zombies. So if you do see zombies, you can always crouch, but I'm going to get one aggroed here so we could show you how to fight them. All right? So, when you hold right-click, you're going to activate your hands. You can just... I'm going to jog away from him just to fight him alone. You could hold right-click and walk backwards. And you can block a zombie's attacks forever, indefinitely. Okay? You could literally sit here. And it won't damage your clothes. It won't do anything. The other way you can fight is if you hold right-click and then left-click, you could jab them. Right? Just a little poke. Little poke. Right? Now, if I hold right-click and then I hold shift... I know it's a lot. And then I left-click. Power hit. And that staggers them back, right? But it takes some of my stamina as well. And look at that. The zombies are like houses in that they spawn loot as well. So here we go. We got the little thing. I'm going to double-click it. Put it in my inventory. And now we're going to try and sneak in here by crouching and staying out of their line of sight. They won't aggro me. I could close this door, and now I'm safe from the zombies, right? So even if they do aggro on me, they can't get in here because of the closed door, which I will show you a little bit more of in a second here. But let's make a fire upstairs, yeah? Let's find a cool spot. Ooh, look at it. Hole in the wall. Epic. Okay, yeah, battlefield. Sounds like there's a zombie in there, so I'm just going to go this way. I think there's a fireplace in this one, right? Am I tripping? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so when you are making a fire, you need first off kindling. And what kindling is you need something that is flammable, right? If you took a flame to it, it will catch fire. Like a piece of paper. If you don't have a piece of paper, this is why we grabbed 2 bark earlier. You can see I could put bark right here. You can see I could also put bandage in this slot. And this last one is rag. So if you cut up a shirt or you find just a balaclava, any piece of fabric, and you cut it up with a knife, you drag a knife onto it, you can do that. But we're going to keep our bandages. We're going to keep our paper. And here, we're going to grab our long stick here and put it into our hands. And when we put it into our hands, in the bottom left, we're going to hold left click, and it's going to split this long stick into 3 tiny little sticks. Boom. So now that we got them split, we're going to drag our bark onto our short stick. See how it says combine? We could swap it, and then it's going to swap the sticks and the bark in my hand. But we're going to combine it, and then we're going to scroll wheel once. We're not going to do a fireplace. We're going to do a hand drill kit. Ooh, hand drill kit. Then we're going to hold left click. And this is just going to be like a Boy Scouts little version. So I'm going to drag my short stick into the fuel section. We have firewood and short sticks, which is what I just used. And now I'm going to look at the fire, hold left click, boom. If your HUD ever disappears, you need to press the tilde key. That's right below escape. That will make your hotbar disappear if you just tap it. If you hold that tilde key, it's going to make everything disappear. So as we look in the bottom right-hand corner, my temperature is going up 3 arrows. Check it out. Once my temperature goes from dark blue to light blue, my HP is going to start going up. Because I have nothing. Essentially, if any of those 3 left items, my water or my food or my temperature is depleting at the lowest level, I start to lose HP. But now, because my temperature is going up, my HP should start to rise in a moment here. So whenever we cook at a fire, you could put the items on the cooking section to thaw them out. And if you leave them there forever, they will eventually get ruined, I think. But the idea is that you want to leave them there until they start to thaw out. And for other items, you could drop them on the ground. And the fireplace kind of has a proximity that it will warm items, right? Boom. So now, if we look in the bottom right-hand corner again, my temperature has a plus sign and it's blinking. It's like barely there. It's coming in and out. It's faint, right? That is called the heat buff. And the heat buff is essentially a buffer zone where cold and temperature ailments will not affect me. So as that plus sign slowly gets more comfortable, it'll stay on there all the time. It'll be just a solid plus sign. And then the same process of a blinking sign will happen for the second one. Check it out. Now the second one is blinking. Now if I was really well insulated right now, and I did this exact same thing, sat at a fire, and I let my items thaw out, I could get up to 3 plus signs, which would be a really long buffer. Think of it as however many plus signs you have, and however solid those plus signs are, that's a longer buffer. So obviously if I have 3, it's an even longer buffer, right? But generally speaking, when you very first start, you're going to get maybe 1.5 to 2 buffers, okay? And now look at this. My Coca-Cola is thawed out. This one is still frozen, but this one's thawed out. I'm going to wait till it turns orange in the background, signifying that it's warm. And then I'm going to drink it, and it's going to make my character warm. Check it out. Warm. Boom. And now, same thing applies for this one. It's chilly right now. See, well, it just changed. But if it was chilly, and I drank it while it's chilly, it would make me chilly as well. So the food that you eat or the things that you drink, they will affect you, like your temperature-wise, like your core temperature, right? So boom, I'm going to take it, I'm going to drink it, and watch, when I drink, I'm not sure if this one's still warm, but when I drink the warm one, my temperature, yep, there you go, my temperature just went up a little bit, right? So I'm drinking something that is raising my core temperature. So if you ever get to a fire, and you have a thawed out piece of food, and you're dying to the cold, you can put the food on there, get it a little bit warm, and then eat it really fast, and it will be like a super strong, like, I'm really warm, right? Okay, so we thought out a water bottle, and there are 3 different water bottles we can find in the world. We can find a plastic bottle just like this. We can find a cooking pot, and we also can find a glass bottle. Now, even though I thawed this out on top of the fire, I still cannot drink this water. So I have to put it into my hands, scroll wheel, and empty it. The reason being, water that you find in the world is not safe to drink. So you have to make sure that you completely empty your water bottles, and then we'll fill them up later on at a spring. So now I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to be very careful not to aggro too many zombies. But let's say you weren't very careful, and you aggroed all the zombies, right? It's a zombie apocalypse! Something you can do to stop the zombies and make them leave you alone is just find a building that has limited windows, okay? This one has a bunch of windows, but I think I could still do it. And you're just going to go into the building. There we go. We got another one. And you're just going to lay down. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time, but these zombies will slowly lose interest, and I'll show you that now. And boom, we made it. The zombies are barely aggroing. They're mumbling. They're not even thinking about me anymore. So if I just open this door and I full sprint out there, they're all going to aggro on me again, right? So when you leave a building that you just did something like this in, you're going to want to take it really slow, crouch down. and you're going to want to crouch run out of there. You want to get far away. And maybe one will aggro on you. It's possible. But generally speaking, look at that. I just got rid of all of my aggro. Right? Another thing you could do is lock zombies in. So let's say this guy saw me. I could run over to a shed. And this is going to be a really hard shed to do it in. So probably don't do it in this one. But I could run over to a shed. Zombie! And I could just come back here. Wait in a corner. Don't get too far back. And what you're going to do is you're just going to swing around him. You could even block him in here. Block him in here. Stack him. Ugh. And then we're going to run out and close the door. And he is in there for the rest of the time. Okay? So, doors are like the zombie's key weakness. If you're ever in a dire situation, you can always just lay down. But the other way of fixing that... of solving a zombie apocalypse and a zombie crisis on your hands is running into a building and closing them in the door. All right? So let's keep going here. We're going to make ourselves a fishing rod. I'm going to show you what it looks like when you fight a zombie pro mode here. Oh. I think Beatrice is stuck in the planter. Okay, I'm going to fight Beatrice's twin sister. Beatrice, come. You want to stagger the zombies so they never hit you. You're going to fight a million zombies out here. You don't want them taking HP from you every time. So when you fight them, always aim a little bit above where you think you're going to hit their head. Because it's a little bit off, honestly. So, now, I have a rope. Let's say you didn't find a rope. Let's say you just found shirts, okay? And I'm still really poorly insulated here, so this is a tough situation for my character. I haven't found any warm clothes, really. There you go, tracksuit pants. Medium insulation, which is better than my worst insulation, so I'm going to take them right now. And then we're going to look down at our pants, and we're going to... whoops. We're going to take our knife into our hands. And we're going to craft rags. Now, when you craft rags, the thing that you cut up is going to determine how many rags you get. So for this, I get 3. If I get 2 stacks of 6, because 6 is the max, I can drag them onto each other, and I can make a rope. But because we have a rope, I'm just going to show you. But if you didn't, you would find 6 rags and 6 rags, and you would... Sorry, I'm going to go fight this guy. You'd find 6 rags and 6 rags, and you would drag them and combine them, and that would allow you to make that rope, okay? But now it looks like my knife is ruined, so if I click it, if I highlight over it, it's ruined. So if I use this knife, the second I hit something, it would go on the ground. Look at that. So here we have worst insulation, but it's still better than nothing, so I'm going to put it on my head. Probably very little, but still better. All right, so next thing we're going to do to make that fishing rod is we are going to go to a bush and get a long stick. Not a short stick, a long stick. So like a bush like this guy. Boom, long stick. So we're going to hold left click and gather that. Boom. Now we're going to take the long stick into our hands here. And we're going to drag the rope. I'm going to get out of the open here. You shouldn't do this in the open. That's why I'm trying to... Ooh, shotgun ammo. Trying to go show good discipline here. Get into a building. Drag the rope onto the long stick and combine. Craft improvised fishing rod. Boom. We're balling out of control here. So for this, you're going to need a knife. And at this point in time, my only knife has ruined. So we're going to have to look around right now and try and get a knife. Anything sharp will do. And look what we found in literally the first step. Felt scripted. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to any bush. And I'm going to get another long stick. You could also just do this part with your hands. So you don't need the knife for that part, right? But then I'm going to... Ooh. Actually, let me do this. I'm going to put the long stick in my hands. I'm going to split it so that I don't ruin my knife, right? Because if your knife is badly damaged, you're getting close to it getting ruined. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to break down the long sticks with my hand right now. I'm not sure if that's a person running right in front of me or a zombie. The server is like medium pop right now. Okay, so after we get our short stick, we need to make a wooden fishing hook. So we're going to drag our blade onto the short stick. Craft improvised hook. Boom. Balling out of control, baby. We're still going to need more knives. A badly damaged one is not going to do the trick for us. But for now, it's more than enough, okay? So boom. We have, as you can see, 2 little fishing hooks. But let's keep going here. I'm going to loot through a couple things. I'm going to try and find a couple, maybe a better, oh, a map right there inside of the porta potty. Maybe a better blade here, because I need a knife that's going to sustain me. Oh, another badly damaged knife will do. It will do nicely. I'll keep the map just to please the plebs out there. All right, so now we have 2 knives. We should be good. I'm going to go out here, and what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to cook. I'm not going to fish, sorry, right next to the city. Like, I'm not going to fish right there, like right on the shoreline. I could fish in there. That would be decent cover, right? But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in between the 2 cities, and I'm going to try and find a spot that's kind of discreet. And you're going to see what I mean by that in just a second here. What is that? Oh, sweater. So medium insulation, better than worse. We're going to put it on. And we got 3 more slots, all right? Boom, boom, boom. Remember to double click everything when you pick it up. And okay, so here we go. Look at these rocks. Perfect. This is perfect. All right, so if we look to the bottom right, it looks like my heat buff is gone. And that was probably gone because I had clothes that didn't really insulate me. It went really fast, right? It felt that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another fire, but we're going to make it right where we're fishing. So we're going to make it right here. So first thing we need to do, exact same process. I need to get a long stick. And then I'm going to need to get bark. And then I'm going to need to combo the bark and the long stick once I break it down, right? So we got the long stick. I'm breaking it down, turning it into 3 sticks right now. Boom, baby. Then I'm going to take those 3 sticks. And I'm going to put them over here. So I'm going to be making a fire right there. And fishing and all the stuff. Then we're going to take a blade, any blade, and we're going to put it to a tree. We don't want to gather a wooden log with this. This is an axe. So we're going to scroll wheel, get light bark. Boom, son. It kind of shows you when you can scroll wheel that it has those 2 arrows up and down right next to it. So we're going to get light bark here. And remember, we need 2. In this case, we only need 1. But normally you would need 2. We already have bandages, which are also kindling. So we're going to come over here. Light bark. We're going to combo it with the stick. Not the fireplace. We want the hand drill kit. And I'm going to show you how to make a fireplace in the wild right now without all that other jazz, right? Like you don't have a house to put it in. What you're going to do, well, let me put it right here. What you're going to do is you're going to put your kindling on the ground. So I put my kindling right there. I'm going to take my lighter, my matches, or my hand drill kit. Is it going to get wet right there? I don't know. Make sure it's not in the ocean. And you're going to left click on it and ignite. And this will make a fireplace at the location that your paper's at. And then you drag your sticks onto the fireplace quickly. Boom. That's how you make a fireplace. Now, I'm going to get more short sticks just because I know I'm going to be here for a second. And I want to make sure my character is warm and ready for the next phase of the game. So boom, it looks like I'm bleeding. And that can happen when you're breaking down the stick. Imagine you're like breaking down a branch and you get cut, right? When you bleed, you need to make sure that the bandage you use says disinfected. It's very important. Look at my rags here. It doesn't say disinfected. If I were to bandage with these rags, I would get a blood infection. There's a chance, right? So I'm going to put them in my hand. I'm going to hold left click, treat my wound. And bandages are just like a much faster version of rags. I could also disinfect these rags and they would be all the same, equally as good at bandaging me, just a little bit slower. So we're going to take our long stick, break it down again, and we're going to put more sticks in the fire so it lasts. Bum, bum, bum. Now, I could take my fishing rod right now with my fishing hook in there, and I could sit here and start fishing, and I will catch a fish eventually. But it's going to take a long time, and I'll show you the fishing mechanics in just a second. What I need to do instead is I need to take a blade. I think I could use a shovel too. Yeah, I could use a blade like the hatchet or a bone knife or any knife at all, or a shovel, and I could dig up worms. And you're just gonna hold left click, and it's gonna do a whole animation. And this is just you getting worms, which you're then going to use as bait for the fishing. We're just gonna digging up them hoes. Dig it. Okay, there we go. So we got 3 worms, baby. Boom, boom, boom. That's gonna be super good. All right, now we're gonna come over here. We're gonna get within proximity of the fire, so I'm feeling the fire on my body, right? I'm not like so far away that I'm not feeling any warmth from the fire. And I'm gonna drag my earthworm onto my fishing hook. My wooden fishing hook is right here. Let me put it in my hand so you can see it better. The fishing bait slot, I'm gonna drag it right there. Boom. And it only took 1. So now we're just gonna start fishing. And what you do when you fish is you just wait until you see a puddle. Watch, a puddle is even on that imaginary dirt right there is gonna pop up. A little bit of time, a little bit of time. And when the puddle happens, you're just gonna let go. You have to hold left click the whole time. And then when the puddle comes, which it may not come because I'm a little shallow here. Let me go a little deeper. Let me go a little deeper. I feel like I'm a little too shallow there. Boom. So actually, I probably should have made the fire right here. Or maybe I'd... Oh, yeah, there we go. And we're going to let go. Now, it's not guaranteed that you'll catch a fish. You could catch a number of things. But in this case, I did. But I don't have much inventory space, so I'm going to put it in my hands. I'm going to take it over the fire. I'm going to drop it, and I'm going to go fishing again. I'm going to drag it once again onto the wooden fishing hook. Boom, boom. We're fishing again. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Big sturgeon. Give me a sturgeon. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, you gonna make me do 3 rotations? Oh, come on now. Nah, I'm gonna go back down here. Hell no, I'm going by my fire. I should be getting the buff. Come on, ocean. Come on, ocean. So if the tide comes in and you could fish, like, just barely I miss it. I want to get the buff though, baby. That sucks. I want to, but I don't think I could get close enough. I made the fire too far away. It's okay, I could just show you with this one guy. So, once we have our fish, you're going to put it into your hands. Now, in my case, I don't have gloves. And that's going to be a big bummer, because if I cut this up, I'm just going to show you really quick. If I cut this up, my hands are going to get bloody. And if I eat anything or drink anything with bloody hands, my character is going to get a blood infection. It's going to be bad, okay? So if I took this caviar right here, for those who know, they know, and I ate it right now, I would get a bloodborne illness. I would get sick, okay? So what I got to do is I got to go over to water, and I just got to hold F, wash hands. And let's say you didn't have any water. You could also go up to snow and wash your hands. Also, you could take rags in your hands and craft improvised hand wrappings. And you can cover the blood, and that'll be enough to take away the problem. Like, I could eat with these bloody hands now. Even though they're bloody underneath the rags, right? I could eat with them with the rags on my hands. But if you can, you're going to want to wash your hands. So just go over to any water source, click wash hands. Now we got some clean paws. Now, normally, I personally recommend that people go to a house to cook all their fish. Like, you would want to get a bunch of fish here and then go to a house. I'm going to keep this fishing hook here. I'm going to keep the gloves. I'm going to eat the caviar. But you can also cook it on this fireplace, and I'm going to show you that. Do I have enough time? If it doesn't go out right now, I'll show you it. If not, we're going to go cook it in the fireplace. You could do that just by taking a long stick and cutting it down to sharpen. This essentially allows you to make the stick like a skewer, and you put it through your fish. Check it out. Bam. And then you could go over to your fireplace, and you could simply just roast it. And it will slowly cook it over time. So that's one way if you didn't have an actual fireplace at a house. But we're going to go to a fireplace at a house. Let's go. Next, I'm going to show you guys how to find water, hopefully. That's my goal, because so far I've shown you about food. Now we have to make sure the water situation is straight. So here we have a giant town. I'm not actually sure where water is over here. I'm not sure that there is water. Here we have a giant town. Normally what you're going to find is you're going to find the main road like this. And then you're going to find a dirt path that comes off of that main road. And that dirt path is normally going to lead to an even smaller dirt path, which is going to give you water. And it's always going to be like outside of a town. It's never going to be like in the heart of the town. It's not going to be in the middle, like Cherno or Livonia. It's going to be somewhere far out there, right? But the main thing we're looking for is for, obviously, if I cook all this food, is more food and better insulation, and obviously something to defend ourselves. So look at, we got a shotgun round. I got working gloves. I'm going to put those on. Those sound better. Low insulation. I ain't with that. Keep going here. Oh, I see a fire station. So, for new players, firefighter gear is going to be the best gear in the entire game for you. It is very heavy. It is going to make you slower. But it is also the warmest clothes in the game. It's best insulation. And alongside that, it also cannot get wet. It can only get damp. So if you ever see a fire station, just go in there. It's going to give you clothes with really good insulation, and it's going to allow you to kind of go into the next chapter of the game, which is inland. Ooh, look at that. Got a little leather sewing kit. I wish I had more inventory space. So these trucks right here, they will spawn stuff on any location that they spawn on. So they are loot mobiles as well. So once again, I'm staggering, right? Holding my hand up, and then I'm whacking and holding shift. Okay. See if I can find some firefighter gear. There's also spawns upstairs in this building. So, oh, there's firefighter gear. There's firefighter gear. Oh, whoa. Okay, well, I didn't mean. Okay, well, now we're up here, I guess. My bad. Same thing. I'm staggering. Something you'll notice is zombies will always swing in like 2 attacks if you're far away. Watch. 1, 2. And you could use that as a window to smack them. So they'll come towards me. 1. Oh, well, he ran into that. 1, 2. Whack him. Okay. Now let's go over here. Get our firefighter gear on. And boom, 24 slots as well, so 10 more slots than I already had. And then we're going to go over here, and we got the pants as well. So sometimes when you take off your clothes, the other clothes will spawn into the wall, and you can't see them in vicinity. If that happens, look around. They're going to be stuck somewhere in the wall, and you have to hold F and put them in your hands. Once you do that, drag them on the ground, double click, double click, double click, double click. And then we're just going to get out of there. So normally I would recommend that you catch multiple fish. You shouldn't just catch 1 or 2 fish there and move on. You should probably catch like 3 or 4 and cook them all up. I'm just kind of trying to speed things along and show you more of the game, sort of. Well, now that I have really well insulated clothing, best and medium, I can start looking at going, oh, Matchbox, hell yeah, I don't have to worry about anything anymore. I can start going inland. Now, something that I want to point out locking zombies in a small cargo shed like this is really hard, right? I don't have much space to work with. But the zombies will kind of aggro to the corner that you're at. So if I'm over here, all the zombies are going to come over here. What's easier to lock zombies in is huge buildings, right? With huge doors. Because then you could run around and get multiple of them inside. And then when you run out, you could close. I don't know if this is a double or a single. You could close the door. It's easier with a bigger building because you have more space to sort of jet out of there, okay? Now, something we're looking for no matter what, always when we start, is we are looking for armor. It's the most important thing for us. Ooh, a shotgun. Awesome. And we're gonna find armor. Get rid of that for now. We're gonna find armor at police stations and military locations. Now, I happen to know that there's a police station over here because of my recent escapades, if you will, on Sakhal. So we're going to go over there. I'm just going to show you what it kind of looks like when you come across the police zombies and how you should interact with them. Now, we have a shotgun here. In the bottom left-hand corner, I did a guide specifically on gun management. So if you have more questions about this, look for that guide on my channel. But in the very bottom left, it says I have 2 bullets, 1 in each barrel. If I tap R, the gun is going to empty. Tap R again. It's like emptying the gun. If I hold R, it's going to reload with bullets from my inventory. 1. And if I hold R again, reload with the other bullet. Boom. The reason it did 2 separate bullets is because I had them in 2 different spots, okay? So you got to have them in the same stack. It'll load them all up at once. Now, if I want to aim at something, I hold right click and I could press mouse wheel, middle mouse button. It'll zoom in. Or I could press shift and it'll do the same thing. Another way you could do it, if you tap right click, it'll aim down sight right away. All right. If you hold left control, it'll hold your breath. And you can only do that for so long, as seen in the bottom left. Oh, looks like I found another. Oh no, this is a medical one. Oh no, another firefighter one. Awesome. So we're just going to keep going here. I'm pretty sure the police station is to my left here. Looks like I found 76239 right there. If you're ever not sure about loot, something I recommend is don't come to a location like this and be like, oh, look it's a car battery. If you click middle mouse, by the way, when something is in the vicinity, it'll go into detail and you could zoom in, you could look at it in deeper. But don't be like, huh, wow, a car battery. 12-volt rechargeable car battery, usable in cars. It can be used in other appliances if connected. Don't do that at the location that you're at, right? Pick that thing up, get it somewhere safe, and then go through your loot. Like once you're full, obviously start worrying about that stuff. But something that's very important, I see that my heat buff is almost gone. I need to be preparing to make another fire. So what do I need? I need long sticks because I now have a matchbox. So as long as I have kindling, I'm going to be able to make that fire. It's very important that we keep on top of that. It's what's going to get you is the cold. Okay, so here we have it. Police station right here. It's blue like that, broken windows. This guy right here is not a police officer. This is a prisoner, a seasoned, hardened criminal right here. A drug-induced felon. This guy did all kinds of stuff on PCP. He's a terrible guy, right? But they won't give us any items. What we're actually looking for is police zombie. Ah, sorry, I'm thirsty, boy. And they don't look like that either. Where are all our police zombies at? They look like that right there. And sometimes they will have these vests on. So as you can see, it has a little blue vest on him. Not sure if you can see. You will soon. If I were to go up to him with a blade, something sharp, and I fight him, I will damage that vest that he has. So when you're fighting a zombie that has an item that you want on them, don't fight them with a sharp object or even a blunt object. If I want his backpack, let's say, I would put down the hatchet and I would fight him with my paws, right? But let's say I didn't care about anything he had. I was like, yo, fuck this guy, dude. I'm gonna whack-a-mole him. See, I just hit him with a blunt object. His vest got damaged, right? And because they have a vest, they're gonna take more hits. So I don't know if you guys saw, but in the bottom left-hand corner, my heat buff is gone. So my temperature is gonna go down until I'm losing HP eventually. Unless I'm warm enough, based on the clothes I got. So look at, we have a stab vest that's ruined there and a stab vest that's badly damaged. So I'm gonna drag this over. Now I can repair this stab vest with a couple items, an epoxy putty and a leather sewing kit. So those are 2 items that now, because I have a stab vest, I gotta keep my eye out for. Alright, so this is also something really cool. Burlap sacks are incredibly valuable to you because backpacks, for whatever reason, have been really tough to find. Okay, so I have a map. Let's, or I guess I should go into the PD. It's important to note that all the buildings around the PD should spawn police equipment too. Like, in here should possibly be police equipment. Ooh, look at this. High insulation. Boom, son. So if a gun on the ground has a little logo next to it, you see that little logo right there? That means it has a bullet in it. So I'm going to put this in my hands. See how it has 1 bullet in the bottom left? I'm going to tap R. See my inventory? I have 2 shotgun bullets here. Now I got 2 plus 1. All right, let's go into the PD, grab some stuff, and then we're going to show you how to identify where you are on the map. Oh, also, when you hold a gun, and let's say there was a dude in here, like I opened this and he bum rushed me, I could tap F, and it would smack him. Give him the good old whack-a-mole. Shoot. 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 Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I'm just gonna take this. Just gonna take that, and just gonna take that. Okay. And we're gonna take that, and then we're gonna hold R. So check it out, it works with magazines too. I have a magazine, 14 bullets, I just held R and it reloaded it for me. But as you see, look at my temperature. Losing HPs. So we gotta be quick. It's like, cool, you found guns in here, but does that help you survive, you know? So I found a pistol suppressor, sick. Boom, drag that onto my gun. And it looks like I found a ballistic vest. So this stab vest and this ballistic vest provide the exact same protection. The difference is the ballistic vest, press vest, has inventory slots, right? This one has none. So we're going to take that. And we're going to go outside. We're going to go over, find a street sign, and figure out where we are using the map, and then find a well. Let's go. So this is the end of the town, very clearly, because the town stops. There's going to be a sign. What town are we in? Piahoropek. 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 I'm going to get to somewhere safe. Probably shouldn't do it here, but I'm going to do it here. Piahoropek. Let's find it on the map. Okay, we're over here. It's a pretty big town. Piahoropek, and we are right there. So now, I am looking for a well, and what a well looks like on the map is that right there. I'm going to zoom in on it on the video, but it's like, there's something on that well too, so you can't really see it. There we go. It looks like that. Okay, it's a water drop with like 2 squiggly lines. And it's not a well on this map. Instead, it is a spring. It's a location where water would be running down the mountainside, where they made a spring location. So I'm right here at the PD. I see that I could go up this road, or if I trace behind this road, the spring is going to be just up to the right. So I'm going to do that. Look at the PD. I'm going to put my back to the ocean. I'm going to run this way, and the spring is going to be just right up there. Now, this is another way to find a spring. Let's say I didn't have a map. I have, just like I was talking about earlier, I hinted at, I have a concrete road here and a dirt road that breaks off. So I'm going to follow the dirt road. Oh my god, I'm dying to food. I haven't been worrying about food. So we'll go make a fireplace and cook this food over at the spring over there. If I see some zombies, I'm not trying to fight them right now, so I'm just gonna go a little bit wide. And if I was, I could just use my pistol and miss. But no one saw that. I'm gonna edit that part out. Oh no, you didn't edit it out because you're lazy, Cameron? Go figure. Keep going. Cool, but let me show you how the pistol smack works. I could do this to a person or a zombie. Right, and if they're coming at you and you smack them, ooh, whoops. And you smack them, it kind of gives you an opportunity to get that gunshot off like smoothly. You can really like practice that boom, boom, smack in the name. So I'm actually gonna loot through these because I do need some food. As you see, I have been careless. I've been running around too much, and I am now a little hungry bull. So I don't even want to fight this guy. I'm gonna lock him in. Little chocolate bar there. And a glass bottle, but we already have a water bottle, so we're not even gonna. But keep in mind, I know where the road is. It's right there. The dirt road is going this way. I'm keeping it in my mind where it is. And look I found this road attached to it. So the main dirt road there, and then you find a dirt walkway, like a pathway, right? And what you're gonna do is you're gonna go up that dirt walkway, and that is going to lead you to a well. All right. So here we go. We're headed inland a little bit, and when we get there, we're gonna make a fire. We're gonna make a sharpened stick, and we are going to hook a brother up with some steelhead trout fillet. So yeah, if you see these dirt paths, I mean, it's like 85, 90% so far that it's been a spring. And there we go. That's what they look like. At the very end of these springs, or these roads, sorry, will be the spring. And all of them will have a different name up here. So you can kind of use that to remember where you are. And here we go. I'm going to get up to the spring. Now, I'm dying to the cold right now and the temperature. So I'm going to focus on that first, just because I don't want to die. So I'm going to drop this on the ground. I'm going to take my blade to a tree. And I'm going to get light bark. That's going to be my kindling, right? Then I'm going to drop that there. And I'm going to take my matchbox. Where did I put my matchbox? There it is, sorry. Take my matchbox. I'm going to light the bark. Remember, we don't make a fireplace. We light our kindling. And then once that lights, I'm just going to make sure, don't forget, because if the kindling goes out, you're going to be sad. I'm going to make sure to drag my sticks onto the fuel spot. Now, as you see, it's like a stick fire right now. If I go up here and I get firewood, this may ruin my hatchet. Yep. Watch, my fire will like evolve. Banap, banap. Alright, so now I got the fire cooking. I'm going to fill my water bottle up so I have something good to drink here. And because I'm dying to the food, I just want to focus on getting that situation figured out right now. Oh, I think I'm going to need another blade. I left the blade behind. Right? Yeah, I do. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. Excuse me. So, something we can do if we don't have a blade. I actually saw this earlier. I'm going to leave that stick on my path right there. Is you can find these little tiny rocks on roads. And they're just like little rocks. That's the best way to explain it. And they spawn when players are active in the area. And you can use those rocks with another rock or smack it on a rock and make a stone knife. So knives have been a problem this run, right? You've seen me multiple times. I'm like, these blades suck. Oh, oops. Just gonna whack this guy to death. Let's find ourselves a little stone here. I saw one at the very beginning. There we go, little stone. So we're just gonna grab these little stones, small stones. Keep in mind, you got a bunch of zombies on you. You don't want to deal with them. Find yourself a shed. Make sure it's a one-door shed. big location, hopefully. He's got a backpack. I'm going to drag his backpack onto me. And then we're out of here. Believe it's right up here. Yep. There we are. So, it's important to note that fireplaces outside are not as good as fireplaces inside. One, because you don't have the insulation of a building, but something that happens normally when you make a fireplace at a well is you're going to get ambushed, right? Someone is going to come up and get the best of you in this situation. So it's important that you don't always make a fireplace at a well. It's a very compromising thing to do, and it puts you in a really bad position because you have to kind of sit still, right, in a well, which everyone is going to be going towards, and it leaves you very vulnerable. So here I'm just going to drop my frozen food within proximity, and I'm going to actually get some more sticks here. We're going to have to get 2 sticks, so this one's going to be 1. We're going to break this one down. We're going to add as fuel. Then we're going to get another long stick. We're going to make that into a poker, and we're going to get these fillets on there. Something that I've been finding also with Sakhal is that when you're playing and you're looking to find food, zombies are the place to go. And I mean, you got to just take my word for it, I guess, but zombies are what's going to get us through this storm. So here I have a small stone. I could go over to some rocks and I could craft stone knife. So even if you can't find a stone, you can't find bones, which you can also make knife out of, you could go just find a rock on a road, craft a stone knife. Boom. So now we got ourselves a knife. We're going to come over to our stick. We're going to sharpen it, turn it into a skewer, as we did earlier. And then we're going to cook some of this food here. And something you can do, a little tip, go into the well, and it provides a little bit of warmth, like a house, a structure. And on top of that, it also allows you to not be shot from behind, right? Or seen and shot, rather. But keep in mind, our food is also de-thawing down here. We're about to be extra good on food. I want it now. Now, something I want to say about Sakhal is that the map flow is not like every other map that you've maybe heard about or played, where you spawn on one side and you go to the other side. Sure, you can spawn on one side and go all the way across, but more so what Sakhal kind of leans into, it makes you stay on the coast and then poke and prod inland. Okay, so we're blinking food. We have very little food, but check it out. This just dried out, so we're going to eat this. And that should be following pretty soon here. When the food is red behind it, that means it's too hot. If you eat it, it's going to hurt you. So we're just going to cook this for a quarter of the way here. And then by that time, or maybe half the way. And then by that time, our other piece of food should be good to eat. But yeah, what I was saying is, a lot of times people, I think, are imagining Sakhal like Chernarus, where you spawn in the southeast, and you know that you need to get further northwest. Sakhal is directionless. You spawn in the north, but you can push all the way around the edges and get to your destination as much as you could go straight through the middle. And I think more so what you should think about when going inland, especially as someone who's not incredibly comfortable with managing the cold and the lack of food that you find inland, is go inland and go to a location, a point of interest that you're trying to go to, and then come back to the coast, and then go inland to a point of interest, and then come back to the coast. Right? It's more like you could poke and prod your way at the inland versus doing like an all-out bum rush to the center of the map and then to the far reaches in the military and all that. Boom. All right, so here, this item is still frozen. If I put it in my inventory, I'm gonna eat this while it's warm here, guys. If I put it in my inventory, while I have a heat buff, it'll slowly thaw out. So those peanuts in my inventory, they're slowly gonna go from frozen to chili to nothing at all. And then we're gonna be able to eat them. We're gonna wait for this other guy to cool off too, and we're good. We're headed inland. Now, like I said before, if you're really struggling to find food, you would want to catch a couple more fish probably. If you head inland too fast, you can get yourself into a really tough situation. Ooh, those are good shoes. But something that I almost recommend almost every time is thoroughly looting your location. So thoroughly making sure that this location is fully looted. But if you don't feel comfortable to go inland yet, let's say you just got here and because you're red food, you're like, you know what? I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I can right now. Just come back down and go to the next coastal town. Right here. I'm going to drink. I'm going to fill up on water. And I'm going to be like, you know what? Right now, it doesn't feel like I feel confident that I have enough food to carry me inland before I need some more. So instead, I'm going to go stay on the coast, and I'm going to go to the next coastal town, and I'm going to start hitting all these zombies. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pretend like you guys were in this situation. You're like, you know what? I don't think I have enough. I don't feel confident in my ability to go inland right now. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to kill all the zombies in this row, and I'm going to see how much food I get. And we're going to see if we feel confident then to go inland. We're going to get full health and all that, right? Because I would like to display how much food the zombies give you. I mean, I hope it's luck of the draw, obviously, in a lot of ways, but I hope it doesn't screw me and like give me 0 food now that I'm talking a high game of it. But I've been finding the majority of my food just from killing zombies. Something I want to recommend also, if you find a pistol and you find a suppressor, it's very tempting to use. Look at that, a really good. Oh no. It's really tempting to use it on every zombie you come across. Like, you finally got a gun. But in reality, you really want to keep it down low. You want to use that for self-defense. It's hard to find a gun, generally speaking, depending on the server you're playing. And you want to make sure to prioritize those bullets that you have, because it is quite difficult to find bullets on Sakhal. So another thing you could do for attacking, oh my goodness, cooking pots are the gold standard, guys. They hold a lot of water. You can do a running attack, so you can stagger them with that, like a shift. But you can also run, hit right click and left click, and it will do a running attack. Boom, and it'll stagger as well, so long as you have the stamina to stagger them at the time. So of course, none of these zombies dropped anything yet. Typical Monday. Oh, also, when you look at something on the ground, if it doesn't have a plus next to its name, like it just says infected, they don't have anything in their inventory. We're going to loot this town. Ooh, look at that, a little Sherpa. I like that. I like that. Remember the zombies we locked in here earlier? Still in here. No loot on any of these guys, because, you know. What did I say about the thing? Okay, there we go. Dude, the peanuts don't unfreeze. What the hell? What the hell? Another hatchet here. We're going to take that. I like hatchets more than I like shovel, actually, but a lot of people live and die by the shovel, so I'll keep using it just to please them. I'm feeling a little bit better. I think I'm about to be pretty damn close to white apple here. Oh, let's say I wanted that backpack. I would put my shovel away. I'd fight her with the good old paws. Give her these hands, right? I want that backpack. Boom, drag it off. I'm going to drag this one on. Double click, double click, double click. And we good. Oh! My brother. My brother! My brother! None of these guys gave me anything. I am DayZ. Obviously, something you could do if you find the map as well is use it to help you navigate, find another town, find another well, something like that. But in general, like I said, at this point, I would essentially make a decision. Do I want to loot more here, or do I want to go to the next town? There is no wrong answer. There is no right answer. It's all just an answer. So you can literally go straight into here, or you can go straight over this way. And you could sustain just with fishing, honestly, if you really wanted to. By the way, check it out. The peanuts have thawed out in my inventory. I didn't put them in the fire. I didn't do anything like that, but they were frozen when I put them in. And they slowly unfroze, right? And here, we're just going to go to the next town. I'm like, I don't like big towns. My computer can barely hang with the FPS drop. I just want to go over here. You just go to the next town then. You don't have to go inland. Don't feel like a rush to go inland. Obviously, inland is where you're going to find better gear. And eventually you're going to find some lore locations and such, but it doesn't mean that is the way you have to go. You don't have to go anywhere. So we're just going to go over to the next town, and we would do the exact same thing. And then once we felt confident to go inland, we would just put our back to the ocean, and we would just push forward. When we get inland, we're going to get cold fast. So we're going to need to make sure that we have good insulated clothes in order to really carry us through that inland adventure. It's very important. I'm going to go over how to have a perfect middle game another time. What I'll do is I'll take a character. Maybe I'll take this character. Maybe I'll finish this adventure by starting to head inland, and then I'll save it, and then I'll do a middle of the game adventure. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, no. No, I'll do that on official. So this is not official, by the way. This is on Friends completely vanilla server. Because my official character currently is filming another video. I'm making a movie over there, which will be out soon. I hope you guys enjoy it. But boom, we found another little village spot over here. And we would just go to this village spot. We would do the exact same thing. Anytime my heat buff was depleting, I would get ready to make another fire. I would move forward. Oh! A rabbit. A rabbit. Where is it? Where is it? Can you spot the rabbit, guys? I spot the rabbit. Damn, it makes you feel evil, don't it? That's okay, though. Because now we're eating rabbit, baby. Skin and quarter. Can I carry it? Feels wrong, but I'm going to carry it. Oh, that feels terrible, dude. The way you grab it by the neck. Oh, dude, it's all rigor mortis. Oh, bro. Cut it up. Cut it up. I could deal with it better. Boom. 3 rabbit legs. And we got these bones, too. We're going to keep those. Bones are super important and valuable. You could drag your... Ooh, whoops. You could drag the bones over in your hands, and you can make a bone knife. And you could also just take these bones to a stone and make 2 bone knives with a stone right now as well. Now, something that I just want to say before we conclude this, because I think I've covered everything that you're really going to need to get you inland. The last thing I'll say about the coastal adventure is the colder you are, the more your food is going to deplete. So if you're finding yourself always hungry, maybe you need to stop worrying about the drip so much and start focusing on getting warm clothes, right? But what we're going to do is once we're ready to move inland, the adventure is quite simple. You're going to do just like Shanaris. You're going to make sure, obviously, that you're in a position where you're comfortable with the gear that you have. You have the ability to hunt something, so you have a gun. Even a shotgun will do. A pistol will do. Any gun. You have a gun that can hunt something. What you're going to do is you're just going to pick any spot where there's a road headed inland. All of the roads that head inland, for the most part, not all of them, but most of the roads that head inland, they're going to head somewhere. So as you see, in this location, I don't really see a road. Maybe this one right here. I mean, this is probably going to lead to a well, maybe? I don't know. But I don't really see a road. So I wouldn't head inland unless I saw a dirt road. Or if you saw a concrete road, obviously, as well. But asphalt road, whatever it may be. Whoa, fishing hook. But I wouldn't just head inland right here, right? Unless you have a loot path that you've planned out and you already have, like, kind of addressed the locations that you're going to need to traverse. Something I recommend is just finding a road, because in general, the roads are going to lead you perfectly into another location. Whether that be a little bit off the beaten path or not, they're going to lead you somewhere, okay? But we have no roads headed inland here. I would not advise heading inland in this location. We would just keep going until we see that road. And I'm going to fast forward to that road right now. So there we have it. We ran long enough. We found another little checkpoint, but also, more importantly, we found a dirt road that is heading away from the coastline to the inland. This would be a location where we would be like, okay, I think this is a good spot to try and start heading the inland direction. Now, it's important that you do this, I recommend, only if you have all white stats. That's going to give a lot of players who aren't comfortable with the game enough of a buffer to where they feel, or enough of a buffer to where they're not going to fall, just like get tripped up by one thing. Because in reality, once you get inland, any three of those stats down there, your temperature, your food, or your water, could be the end of you, right? So normally, what I recommend is making sure that all three of those are in a good spot. And once you feel like you're there, start heading to the inland. Of course, there are players like myself, for example, who have a lot of experience, who will just head straight inland. I'll go straight inland immediately. You ain't going to tell me no, right? But the main thing that I think for new players that maybe aren't comfortable with all the mechanics, wait till you have all white stats with a full HP bar, where it's all the way, no chunks on it, right? A full white HP bar, and then start to head inland. Find a dirt road that goes that way. Follow it to your heart's desire and start to explore it, because the inland is a really cool territory. But yeah, I hope that's good for you. I hear an animal in the distance. I'm going to go kill that. It's important also when you're fighting animals, the less hits you take to kill it, the better yield it's going to give you. So if you shoot it in the head in one bullet, it's going to give you 1 billion steak. And I'll give you an example of that as I tune out here. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps you. I made a previous how to have a perfect start video, and I was like, I think I should touch more for players who maybe haven't touched the game previously. So I hope this helped you. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have really changed my life with all the viewership. It really means a lot, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye. Be good to each other out there, or don't.